Hello and welcome to another Edexcel iGCSE practical exam paper 2 question, this time spreadsheets again, looking at the sample assessment materials. So I've had a few requests to do this. It's worth, I think, with spreadsheets and databases as much practice as you can get. So we're going to do that today. And we're going to look at task B1. Into the Sunset Cruises has offices worldwide and each office employs staff the same job roles on the same contracts. Spreadsheet wages contains July payment details for staff from one office. There's two worksheets called payments and details. Some of the functions require you to use both worksheets. Open the spreadsheet wages. Right, here it is. And you've got payments and details there. So you've got a note there about overtime, and you've got the pay grade and hourly rate of pay and contracted monthly hours there. Okay. So we'll jump straight into a question there. We'll jump straight into the first one. Open the worksheets, payments, enter task B1, candidate number, center number in the header. So we'll do that and we'll go to view to do that, and we'll go to page layout. Okay. So you see I've already put my details in there. I put my name, candidate details, that would be my candidate number, which is given in the exam, which is center number, and task B1. It's really important, as I said before, to put your name on it. When it comes out the spreadsheet, comes out the printer, sorry, you're going to need to know that it's yours, otherwise it's going to have to go in the recycle bin. Okay, so that's that done. Right, for 1 mark then, enter an automatic date in the footer. Let's do that. So I'm going to scroll down to the footer, and I'm going to put my automatic date in there. Okay, so I've already done that before. I'll just do that again. How do I do that? Okay, it's header and footer there, and select current date. And it says ampersand, that's ampersand, square brackets date. So that's the current date into footer. Right, insert a row at the top of the payments worksheet, merge and center cells A1 to O1. Right, to do that, I need to get out of this view. So go back to view and normal to get out of print layout view. And to insert a row, it's really easy. Right click, insert. Okay. Now so highlight A1 to O1, highlight all those cells, not the whole of that row, just the cells that you want to merge and center, because you'll lose marks. And then I go to home and it's simply merge and center. 1 mark. Merge and center. Right, insert the heading staff payments July. Let's do that. Okay, staff payments July. There. Okay, it is centered. That's how I want it. It is merged and centered. 1 mark. Set the formatting of the heading to font size 24, font color white, cell shading dark gray. Okay, now really simple, just click on that there, font color white, it will disappear. Cell shading dark grey, it will reappear, and I'll need to set the font size to 24. It doesn't specify a type of font. Task B1b, Salva wants to use spreadsheet tools to analyze the data. Use spreadsheet functions to display the hourly rate and contracted monthly hours. 4 marks. Let's go and do that. Right. I've got the job title and the pay grade there, and if I go to my details worksheet here, I've got that hourly rate of pay, which is the information I want. So to get the information I want into here, I need to use something called a Vlookup. V stands for vertical. It's looking at the values vertically in a table. So if I start typing equals, remember all functions and formulas start with equals in Excel, equals VL, and Excel suggests there that it's a VLOOKUP. I want that. I double click on that. Okay, what value? This value here. Okay, comma, from what table? This table here, comma, column index number. So it's not column 1, it's column 2. Here is where my information is I want. And do I want an approximate match or an exact match? Always exact match, unless you're told to do otherwise. Double click on exact match, false. Close brackets, 20. So what we're saying, if they're on a pay grade of 1, they get £20 per hour. Is that right? Yeah. So if I just try and copy that down, then I've got a problem. I get NA not applicable there. Okay. So what I need to do to fix that, because I don't want to type this in 10 times, 11 times, however many times. So I'm going to put in $, $A, $2, $B, $5, like that. They're called absolute cell references. They will lock the value onto the table. Can you see there that each time the table is changing, and it's not A4 to B7 from there, it's A4 to B7, which is here, it doesn't contain the values I want. It is wrong. Okay, so if I put that in there like that, and then I copy that down, then I've got the right values. And just a quick check, so from pay grade of 2, they get £15 per hour. Yeah, that is right. Okay, right. Contracted monthly hours, same thing, Vlookup. Of course, Vlookup. Okay, what am I looking at? I'm going to look at their pay grade. Okay, from what table? This table here. I need to highlight all 3 columns there. Okay, because I want all 3 columns there. Which column? 1, 2, 3 this time. And again, I want an exact match. Close brackets. Right, again, copying that down gives me all sorts of problems. So, do the old trick again. $, $A, $2, $C, $5. Okay. Right, copy that down. Right, so let's double check that. If they're on a pay grade of 1, their contracted monthly hours are 160. That is correct. Okay. Pay grade of 2 is 160. What about 3? Is that right? It's 80, yeah. And what about 4? 120. Yeah, that is correct. Always take the time to double check that. It took me all of 20 seconds to double check that. So remember, that is 4 marks. That's quite a lot of marks. Right. Calculate the total hours per month. Okay. So total hours per month is here. Right, so the total hours per month will be the hours worked in week 1 plus that, plus week 2, plus week 3, plus week 4. So there's 2 ways I could do that there. I could just do F2 plus G2 plus H2 plus I2. That's not a very efficient way of doing that. I prefer to do equals sum. Okay, and again, they're looking at the formulas here and the functions that you use. Make sure we do it in the most efficient way possible. Highlight those, close brackets, so my function is equals sum, F2 to I2, that's 165, okay, which is correct. So 2 4s are 8, plus another 4, 120, plus another 4, 160, that's 165. And this time, I don't need to use those absolute cell references, I can just copy that down, and that gives me my total hours per month there. Okay, another mark. Calculate the overtime pay, 1 mark. Okay, now I've got my total hours per month there, and there I've got the contracted monthly hours. So if this manager is supposed to work 160 hours per month, and he or she works 165 hours per month, then you can see that there 5 hours overtime there. Okay, so what I need to do is, I'm not going to work that out manually, I'm going to use a formula. So that is equal to that value there minus, so the hours they worked minus their contracted monthly hours, and that is 5 hours overtime there. And I just simply copy that down there. Okay, and just double take a sample there. So this person there, boat cleaner, contracted amount hours 160, they actually worked 170, yeah, they were for 10 hours overtime there. Okay, and that's another mark. 2, enter formula to calculate the contracted pay per month. Now what I've got to remember is this is actually currency, so I'm going to just change that, okay, and I'm going to change that to currency. So I'm going to go to Format there. Okay, Format Cells. Just to remind myself that that is currency. Okay, so contracted pay per month will be the contracted monthly hours multiplied by their hourly rate. So that is equal to that multiplied by a little star symbol, which is usually Shift and 8 on your keyboard. That. Copy that down. And that is their contracted pay per month. Overtime hours worked. Now at this point, I realized that actually I've already done that in there. And what I didn't do was that overtime pay. But to work out their overtime pay, then I'd needed to have worked out their overtime hours worked anyway. So I can just do that now. Okay. So their overtime pay will be that. So the hours worked overtime multiplied by their rate per hour, which is that there. Okay, so if this person worked 5 hours overtime, £20 an hour, their overtime pay would be 100. And I copy that formula down there, like that. Okay. Tax to be, gross pay. You need to understand what this is. This is the pay you get before any tax deductions. So your tax deductions there are 20%. So before that 20% is taken off as tax. Okay. So that will be, okay, equal to their contracted pay per month plus any overtime that they've done, which is that there. Okay. Copy that down. So that is this person's gross pay per month. That is before tax. So obviously the next question then is tax to be deducted and then net pay. So net will be after tax is deducted. So tax to be deducted is how much tax they're going to pay on that. Right, so click on that cell there. So it's equal to this value here, their gross pay multiplied by that there. Press enter. Okay. Details B7. Right, if I copy that down like that, it's not quite right, is it? So what do I need to do? I need to lock the value on there. Absolute cell reference there. Okay. I promise you, you will get more credit with the examiner by using absolute cell references than you will if you just spend ages. How long would it take you to type in that formula all the way down there? Absolute complete waste of time. Put in absolute cell references, copy that down there, okay? And there is your tax to be deducted. So net pay, that is the pay after we've deducted this tax here, this whack of tax here, okay? So that is equal to their gross pay take away tax. So this person here is going to earn that amount after they've taken off that amount of tax. Okay, you can simply copy that down like that. Replicate all functions formula for all job titles. Right, good news, we have already done that because we used absolute cell references. We've got ourselves 2 marks because we've covered all job titles there. We've saved ourselves a considerable amount of time. Task B1C. Format this payment worksheet so that currency values show the currency symbol with 2 decimal places. Let's go back to our spreadsheet here. We want all currency in currency with 2 decimal places. We've already done the hourly rate there. Hours worked, hours there, that doesn't need to be in currency. Overtime pay is already in currency, that's already in currency there. So that's already been done. Okay, remember to change that to currency if it wasn't, what I need to do there Okay, let's click on Format, Format Cells, and I can choose currency there. And remember, it was 2 decimal places that was wanted there. Okay, so headings are wrapped to use space efficiently. Right, let's wrap those headings. Right, highlight all the headings then. Okay. Again, Home, Format, Format Cells, Alignment, and Wrap Text. Okay. So now they're wrapped. All data visible. So let's just go through that and double click on the top of these columns there to make sure all our data is visible. Let's just move that up a bit. So we're showing that we're making better use of space here. Pay grade, hourly rate. It just looks a little bit better, and we can show that we have wrapped those headings. Okay. Like that. Just push it in a bit. Just spend some time on this. A bit time consuming, but worth doing, because you can simply double click on that there, double click on that there. Okay. Double click there, like that. Just looks a lot better. Double click there. Okay. Double click at the top there. I think I'll move this up a bit because that doesn't need to be. Double click there, move that up a bit. So can you see what's happened there? The cell isn't wide enough. That's why I've got those hash symbols there. So just move that out a bit like that. Okay. And like that. And I'm happy with that. I think that looks okay. So spreadsheet displays row and column headings and the page and header and footer when printed. Okay. Save the task as B1. So save it as B1. Really important. Save as. I'm going to show you, not normally do this kind of thing, but I'll show you that now. B1. Why is that important? Because you'll need to go back to the wages spreadsheet, maybe undo stuff that you've done. If you don't, if you just save that as wages, well, when you hand in the files, you may not get marks for that, and also you can't undo any work if you've messed stuff up. Right. It says print the payments worksheet in landscape showing functions and formula on 2 sides of A4. Okay. Right. Let's just look at how we do that. Print. Okay. Well, we are landscape. If it wasn't, just make sure it is landscape there, like that. 2 sides of A4. That is on 2 sides of A4. Okay. So again, you can select your orientation there, portrait or landscape. It wants it to be landscape. 2 sides of A4. Print the payments worksheet in landscape showing the values 2 sides of A4. So I just simply need to print that then and make sure that obviously that your name, candidate number, center number is on that printout. Really, really important. Otherwise, it's just going to go in the bin. Total marks for B1, 21. Task B2. Selvi is negotiating a new contract for pay grade 2. Filter the payments worksheet to show the pay grade 2 employees. Okay, so payments worksheet there, I need to show all the grade 2 only employees. So I go to pay grade and sort and filter. I want to apply a filter there. And I want to unselect all those, select 2, press OK. So there are all the pay grade 2 employees, 1 mark. Insert a column at the end of the spreadsheet and enter a formula to calculate the number of hours worked as a percentage, overtime as a percentage of the contracted monthly hours. Okay, right, let's go to the end of my spreadsheet there and put a title there, percentage overtime. Okay, so to work that out then, if their contracted hours were 160 and they worked 14 hours overtime, then I can work out a percentage of that. So remember, all function formula begin with equals, equals, okay. So I want to do okay, 14 divided by contracted hours, and then multiply that by 100. And that gives me, if I just scroll along there, 8.75%. And I copy that down like that. Okay, so that is 3.125%. And it doesn't say I need to format that to a certain number of decimal places, so I'm going to leave that as that is. Save the spreadsheet task as B2. Print the payment worksheet showing the functions and formula. Print it showing the values. So the first thing to do is print that as that. Okay. Then you need to print it in formula view. This is how you do that. Go to formulas, show formulas, there. Now you might want to just again double click there, just shrink these down a bit to a more suitable size, shrink that down like that so that I can print that and get that onto one page. Can you see these dotted lines there? They indicate a page break. What I want to try and do is to get that onto just 2 pages. Okay, so spend some time just doing that and then print that on 2 pages. It just looks a bit more efficient. Okay, so spend some time to do that there. Right, and you print that as well, and that is task B2. Task B3, open new word processing document. Okay, so do that. New blank document. Enter task B3, name, candidate number and center number in the header. So in Word you can just do that. I'll just write details there for the sake of time. Put your details in there. Save the document as task B3. So save that as B3. B3A, create a suitable chart based on data from task B2. So make sure you have saved B2. The chart must be showing the percentage of hours worked over time. So showing employees on pay grade 2 and the percentage of hours worked over time. The chart must be fit for purpose of suitable title and values. Okay, so here is B2, and what I need to do is create a chart that shows all the employees on pay grade 2 and the percentage of hours worked over time. So I'm going to highlight all the employees on pay grade 2, and what I want is the overtime here. So it's going to be a bit difficult because I don't want all this data in there as well. So I click that column there, highlight that column there, and if I hold down the control key, CTRL, I can highlight that column as well and not highlight the data I don't want. Okay, so remember a chart. Okay, and I'm just going to go with a simple 2D column chart. Okay, so it's got to show the percentage of hours worked over time, that's that, and the employees, but it's missing some data there. I just want to put in the axis title there. Okay, and I'm going to delete that. I'm going to call that percentage hours. Okay, and I'm going to edit that Does it need to be fit for purpose, have suitable title and values? So that is employees pay grade 2. That's employees of pay grade 2. There. And their percentage hours. Percentage I'll just put grade 2 there. Okay. Then what I can do is cut that and I can paste that into Word. Okay. Save the spreadsheet as chart. I shouldn't have just cut that. I'll just Control Z that. I'll keep that in there. I should have maybe just copied that. So I need to save that. Save that as chart. Paste the chart to B3. Make sure the chart is easy to read. Do not print at this stage. So make sure it's easy to read. I'll just make it a bit bigger. Okay. Like that. Right. B3B. Use the payments worksheet from task B2 to display only the data for the job title, pay, grade and net pay. Right, to answer that I need to reopen B2, okay, not my charts one. So it says for here, job title, pay grade and net pay. Okay, so I want job title, pay grade and net pay. I don't want anything else. So I can just simply hide those columns and hide that column. I am not deleting the columns. I'll just leave the filter on there like that. Okay. Pay grade and net pay. Save the spreadsheet as B3B. Really important, you don't save it as B2. B3B. Paste, take a screenshot, paste it into B3. So I've taken this print screen and I've pasted it into there. Do not print at this stage. B3C. Answer these questions on the document B3. Explain why it's useful to have linked worksheets in the spreadsheet. Right, I'll just talk you through them. I won't write down some answers there. It's useful to have linked worksheets in a spreadsheet. You need to type your answers into the Word document, but just for the sake of time and ease of use, I'm just going to type them on here. Right, saves replication of data can be reused. Saves replication of data. Data can be reused. We can just have the pay grade and use it. We used it how many times? 3 or 4 times. Okay, and makes that spreadsheet. So therefore, it makes the spreadsheet more efficient. Avoids redundant data. Explain why absolute cell referencing is used in spreadsheets. I think we've done this question before. Why do we use absolute cell referencing? Saves time. No need to write the same formula or function out many times. Can you imagine, we only had 8 of them to do, well, it was 10 of them to do. And that's not too much, that wouldn't have taken you that long really, but if you'd had 100 or 200 to do, that would have taken a considerable amount of time. So then you save task B3 and you print task B3, that is a Word document, and that is 8 marks. So that's us done with that question, and let's just go through a few points. So throughout that I said, remember to always save as a task, so B1, B2, not just spreadsheets. And that's important because you may need to go back and use that again. And also you've got to remember you're handing in those files to Edexcel and they'll be looking at them. Show formulas using formula view. In formulas, name on everything, whether it comes out of the printer or not, name on everything that you do. Print on exactly how many pages they ask you to. Take the time to make the column smaller if needed. So if you need to squeeze that onto 2 pages, you need to take a few minutes to make the column small enough for that to happen. And remember, when it came to tax, if you don't do business studies as another subject, remember that gross is paid before tax, net pay is paid after tax. Tax is money that goes to the government. In this case, it was 20%. 20% of what you earn goes to the government or whoever. It's a tax. It's money taken off your gross pay, and then net is what you get into your bank account in your back pocket to be able to spend. So I'll link to all the files down below in my Dropbox account. Good luck with that. If you're looking for the question and the sample assessment materials, it is on page 47 of the document. I think it's 51 if you're viewing it as a PDF file in the sample assessment materials. Have a look at that, and I'll link to the wages spreadsheet so you can try that yourself in my Dropbox account. Good luck. Let me know in the comments how you get on. Thank you for watching.